Viridian, the Green Guide by My Head in the Clouds, Not Coming Down, a Boku no Hero Academia fanfic. Chapter 1 Technicalities. Toshinori glanced down at the boy as the rain fell down all around them. Yes, the boy definitely had a heroic spirit, but just being near the power of one of Toshinori's full-strength punches was enough to practically knock him out. If he were to have that power inside him, his body wouldn't be able to handle it. He'd break. Giving a weak body so much power would be irresponsible, no matter how strong his spirit was. Besides, Toshinori's power was running out. He needed a strong successor. The boy would be able to find other ways to help people. "You're just a quirkless failure. That wouldn't even cut it as a rent-a-cop, Doku," Kacchan screamed. "You didn't help me. You did nothing. I don't owe you anything. You got that?" Izuku nodded fearfully as Kacchan stalked off. He was right. Izuku really hadn't done anything except get in the way. But at least he tried. It had been weirdly exhilarating. That one moment of risking his life for someone else before giving up on his dreams forever. "If you want to be a hero so bad, take a swan dive off the roof and pray you'll be born with a quirk in your next life." Izuku shook his head. No, Kacchan was just being mean. Izuku didn't actually want to die, right? That's not why he ran in to stop that villain. The rush had just been because he had deluded himself into thinking he was helping Kacchan, and there were plenty of other ways to help people. Just like All Might had said, he could become a policeman. That wouldn't even cut it as a rent-a-cop. No, it would probably be for the best to do some research when he got home. There had to be other people out there that realized they couldn't be heroes, right? Maybe he could do some digging online and find out what careers they went into. He walked into the apartment and was immediately almost knocked off his feet as his mom ran to hug him. "Oh, Izuku, baby, I was so worried. What were you thinking?" "I guess I wasn't," Izuku chuckled. "Sorry, Mom." After finally convincing his crying mother that he was in fact alive and well, he took a shower and sat down with his laptop to look into alternate careers. The question now was what to type into the search engine. What to do when you can't be a hero. The search algorithm must be designed to search for any words in the entered phrase, because the top results were all interview clips from various pro heroes giving the "anyone can be a hero" speech. Lies. Halfway down the page, however, Izuku finally saw the result that looked halfway like what he was actually searching for. He clicked on the link, and it took him to a thread on one of the hero forums. A user a few years ago had asked, "I just took the exam for several different hero courses and didn't get in. Being a hero was all I ever wanted to do. So what should I do now that isn't an option?" Well, Izuku hadn't quite gotten to the point of actually taking the UA entrance exam, but the rest applied pretty well. He scrolled through the various answers. A lot of them just offered condolences and told the asker to talk to the career council at their school. Izuku didn't think that helped him much, though, considering that when he met the school counselor last year, the woman had told him to consider being a garbage man. Not that there wasn't a completely valid career, but he knew she only suggested it because he was quirkless. Izuku wanted a job where he could actually help people. A few people suggested being a doctor, but Izuku didn't think he was smart enough for that. His classmates were always telling him that he was a stupid Doku after all. Policeman might be a good option, but then again, Kacchan was probably right. If he didn't have what it took to be a hero, why would he have what it took to be a cop? He was just about to close the browser and go to bed when a comment on the large thread caught his eye. "Well, if you couldn't get into the hero course, you can always be a vigilante." Most of the replies to that was exactly what Izuku suspected they'd be. Basically bullying the commenter for suggesting something so obviously illegal. Izuku shouldn't even be thinking about this. He was in enough trouble for running into the situation earlier, but wait. Wasn't that vigilantism too? They probably let him off easy because he was a kid and it was obviously the first time he had done something like that. But that thrill of almost dying to save someone else. Izuku opened another tab. It wouldn't hurt to do some more research on vigilantes, right? The more he learned, the more he understood that this was a completely stupid idea, and he absolutely should not do. It was obviously stupidly dangerous, and it had a very good chance of killing him. Right? There wasn't a lot of information on particular vigilantes, at least not as much as there was on legal heroes. Heroism was often based on fame, but apparently most vigilantes don't get very popular. But popularity wasn't very important to Izuku. He didn't really need to be popular to be happy. Fame was for people like Kacchan, who deserved it. Then, around midnight, Izuku read a research paper about a group a few years ago called the Nuruhati Vigilantes. It was by a college student who apparently hadn't gone on to do any more serious research. But it did give a decent overview of vigilantism in general, and how illegal heroes were seen by the general population. According to Japanese government, vigilantism is defined by using one's quirk in an unauthorized act of heroism. The vigilantes of the Nuruhati definitely fit the bill, but do people see them as evil, like the government proclaims, or as good? Izuku read the first sentence a total of 5 times before looking up the actual law. At least according to the government, quirkless people couldn't technically be vigilantes. Wait, he couldn't be a vigilante. Izuku didn't end up getting any sleep that night, since by the time he finished reading all the various laws on self-defense and quirk usage, the sun was already rising. He should still probably find some way to conceal his identity, since he didn't want to make his mother worry. But, well, there was no law preventing him from risking his life to help people.